So Kate and Tanya, thank you very much for joining us today. Very quickly, can you just tell us what you do, what your title is?
My name's Kate Quilton and I'm a multi-platform commissioner here at Channel 4, working specifically in docs and specialist factual.
It's a mouthful. How about you, Tanya?
I'm a commissioning editor for specialist factual, so I commission the TV programmes that Kate then does amazing multi-platform support for.
I'd say so, and it sounds very exotic, doesn't it? Multi-platform. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because for someone like me, and I'm sure there's many others who aren't quite sure what that involves.
Okay, exotic is an interesting word, but you'll soon realise it isn't too exotic. But basically, as a multi-platform commissioner, we commission projects or that basically sit across platforms. So that projects, we're going to talk about kind of Hippo, which is a show that Tanya commissioned. We also did a big kind of online project, and the TV and the online were integral. It was kind of two parts of a whole, and you know, all of the online activity was integrated in what we did on television. Now,
Hippo, Nature's Wild Feast, I love the title. It's been billed, I think, as Big Brother for hippos. Would that be correct?
Yeah, it has been described that actually, which we quite liked, because the idea that you can make natural history be compared to Big Brother is quite exciting for us. So I think one of the things that we're really that we were trying to do and that we're really happy with the Hippo programme is that actually young people wanted to watch it, which is quite unusual because natural history is one of those things that older people tend to watch. So trying to get young people to watch is quite a challenge.
It's quite a feat. Okay, so if we take Hippo as an example, how does the project work for you guys? So it gets commissioned in TV first, I presume? Like, how do you work together? How does that evolve?
This project was really interesting, wasn't it, for us? Because originally the first idea came as a TV idea, but actually we decided, or Kate had the brilliant idea, to launch it online before the TV programme. So actually Kate's bit came before my bit.
And then for you, Kate, actually I read some of your tweets there recently, it was quite interesting, little tidbits. An alligator, I think, or a crocodile can lower its stomach pH to 1 or minus so it can digest hippo bones, I believe, and hooves. That was one of yours. Oh. At least it was a retweet anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
You mean you don't remember?
I do remember that. Another interesting fact about the crocodiles is that they can go 6 months without eating.
Wish I could do that. Kind of handy. So, I mean, when we talk about multi-platform and cross-platform commissions, what are the unique difficulties, I guess, that presents?
Well, I mean, first thing really, which we kind of have to address kind of right from the beginning, is the fact that online production timelines are very, very different to TV production timelines. They just are, and the whole process is a bit different. With online, often you have to commit really to kind of your final design, to your final concept, to your final build, to ultimately what your product is kind of way in advance of your launch date because it takes so long to build. We were lucky with Hippo that we worked with some brilliant agile developers. They essentially built a website in a weekend, which was fantastic. But yeah, the timelines are very, very different, and although you can kind of make tweaks in television up until the 11th hour, with online it's different. So so that's kind of one of the biggest challenges to kind of address right at the beginning. With Hippo, I mean, we commissioned that about 3 weeks before it went to air, so that was really, really speedy. And, you know, white knuckle speedy, like, oh, shit, we're not going to make it. You know, and like I said before, you know, we kind of built a site in a weekend.
One of the exciting things about working for Channel 4 and hopefully pitching ideas to Channel 4 is that sometimes often we're knowingly taking risks, and our risks sometimes fail. So, I mean, Hippo was a brilliant example of not something failing because it was really successful, but you know, there were things that happened on that didn't work. You know, we couldn't predict that the ground temperature was going to be 65 degrees and we had to turn the satellite receiver off for 3 hours a day and couldn't stream online. But we don't view that as kind of messing up. We view it as part of innovating and part of, you know, trying new things. So I mean, it's pretty extraordinary if you look at the Hippo website that was built in 3 weeks. Again, we can only, for our blood pressure, we can only do a certain number of those projects a year.
Yeah, and with that, the timelines were dictated again. I mean, the subject matter can often dictate the timeline. So with that, you know, you think, well, why don't you just go later with it? Why are you busting your balls to get this on air, you know, kind of by a certain date? But the reason is that because basically the rainy seasons, the rains were imminent, the rainy season was about to start, and we had kind of 3 weeks left by which we've got to get out there and do this, because of the different conditions around it. Ultimately, you know, dry season, height of the dry season is the time to make a program like this. You know, you want all the animals to come to your hippo that is on the beach by a watering hole, and they're hungry and it's hot, and you'll get lots of action. And the hippos die. They do die in October.
Hippos have a much happier time when the rain comes.
And so if anyone's pitching new ideas to you, is it very, very important for you guys, I presume it is, that they come with that kind of holistic view, a 360 approach of how it can be multi-platform?
It is important, but also it's important to remember that not every programme should be multi-platform. You know, it doesn't need to be. As multi-platform commissioners here at the channel, we work across about 5% of our output. So that's about 5% of our programmes get the kind of full multi-platform treatment. There are some stories that should be told as ends in themselves and should purely exist as TV programmes. So yeah, although it's great when production companies come in with a holistic approach and they've kind of thought about the multi-platform and how it could work, it's not essential for every title. It's going to be commonplace for everyone in a couple of years to, through their TV set, they will be connected to the internet. They will have the opportunity to consume content in a bit of a different way. So that's what, I mean, as multi-platform commissioners, we're thinking about how can we integrate online within television, offer more content, offer a different experience for our viewers. An important thing as well for us is to build a relationship with our audience so that ultimately we can find out more about them, and by that we are interested in data, but from the perspective of we're interested in data because we want to know what people are watching, what they watch more of, you know, what they would like to see, how they are, you know, playing around with programs like £1 Million Drop, are they engaging in that way? And therefore that just means that we can make programs that deliver to the audience better, and that more people watch and more people engage, like, you know, and use the things that we're creating. So yeah, data's an interesting thing for us as well. So yeah, digital, it is the future.
One of the best bits of advice I was given quite early on in my career, which certainly is useful if you're thinking about TV ideas, but it's probably useful if you're thinking in terms of multi-platform ideas as well, is can you write the billing in the TV Times? And if you can't write the billing, which I think is a 30-word limit or something, then the idea isn't clear enough. And it's amazing how often trying to make a programme work ends up being a week of 5 people trying to go, how do we set this programme up so that the audience understand what it is? And if all ideas were only commissioned, if we knew what the first 3 lines of commentary were in the programme, all our lives would be a lot easier. So that, I think that clarity of thought and purpose is really important. You probably know this already, but Channel 4's kind of mantra is sort of mission with mischief. So we're always looking for either subject areas that make a point in a different and sometimes mischievous way, or that we're actually saying something that other broadcasters wouldn't say, but it's always about innovation.
Well, the fact they turned the hippo thing around in 2 weeks, for all I'm saying they wouldn't have wanted it a year and 2 weeks away, I wonder whether if they'd started planning it in the rainy season for sort of 4 months' time, whether that might have been a bit more comfortable. But yeah, I just can't believe they turned something around that quickly. It's just amazing organisational feat.
Chris, how was it for you?
It was really good. I think that Channel 4 doing this kind of thing is amazing. And I think it's good for them to hear from us how amazing it is, because just having this kind of access to information, as well as the people behind the information, really lets you know what you need to do to succeed, and also at the same time let you know that it's possible. You know, these people are open to you.
That was brilliant, actually, because not a lot of broadcasters give opportunities such as this one, where people can come in, you know, from various parts of the industry and, you know, chat very intimately with commissioning editors who, you know, who have varied ways of working and sort of, you know, this is a chance for people to speak to them directly, find out what they're interested in, what skills they need, where the industry is, where Channel 4 is, and these are all really important things for, let's say, an AP or a producer or a director.
And were you coming in here with anything particularly in mind that you wanted to find out more about?
I mean, not really. I'm sort of in the stage of my career where I'm really keen and willing to find out everything about the industry, and the Global Entrepreneurship Week is excellent for that. It's an opportunity for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to find out information, speak to people in the industry, and it's really difficult to do that otherwise. So thank you so much to Channel 4 for doing that.